to go? Awesome. So, Corey, will you read the do now form?
Small water elevation decides to move from 3,000 feet in elevation to the coastal region. Explain 2 to 3 ways thin rocks will change in water.
Okay. Who can give me even one? Way their life might change. Go ahead, Danielle. I mean, Julie, sorry. I know, I got it.
Their life could change because they'll be surrounded by water, so they will be able to be surrounded by water, they'll be able to build more crops.
When you live on the coast, what kind of water are you surrounded by?
Ocean.
No.
What do you know about the ocean?
Salt water.
Is salt water good for crops?
No.
No.
But what could the ocean be good for besides crops?
Travel.
Travel. Awesome. Travel. What else?
Washing.
I don't know. Would you want to wash your clothes
Fishing.
in salt water?
Fishing.
Fish.
People used to do it a long time ago.
In salt water? I don't know if they try to use fresh water. But fishing, you guys are on top of it there. So, Julissa, you're absolutely right about being surrounded by water.
What about drinking?
Can't drink salt water.
Excuse me. Vivian, you asked a good question, but you need to raise your hand and ask it. Darian? Go ahead and answer this question. What was Vivian's question? And the answer is, you don't want to drink salt water. Vivian, do you ever drink salt water? Has your mom ever made you gargle salt water when your throat's messed up? Does it taste good?
No, it's nasty.
You really don't want to drink salt water. Yeah, or if you lose a tooth or something, gargling salt water. Yeah, you don't want to drink it though. It actually dehydrates you. Salt will dehydrate you. It takes the liquids out of your body.
Just like
Okay,
that
so
with worms.
slow your roll. But yes, or slow. You put salt on them. Dehydrates you. Good connection. So we know they might be able to fish more. We know they might be able to trade better on the ocean. How else would their lives change?
It's cold.
If you move from 3,000 feet to a coastal region, does it get colder or does it get warmer?
It's going to get hotter
It gets hotter. It actually gets hotter. Why does it get hotter, Julie?
because they go further down the sun ocean.
Well, we talked about the thickness of the air originally, but the main point is the higher in elevation you go, the colder the air gets. So, Danya, you have the right idea that there's going to be a temperature change, but you had it backwards. It's going to be warmer near the coast than it is up in the mountains. What does the temperature affect that will also affect their lives? The planting, exactly. What would change about their farming?
Yeah, keep water on it every day.
Okay, you might need more water to keep your crops wet. What else would change about their farming if they move from 3,000 feet to right by the ocean?
What about the farm?
They won't have enough land.
That depends. That depends. It could, the amount of land they have could change. Sheree? They would have more sun and more heat on their crops. Danya?
It might flood in. It might flood and they have enough water for a long time.
Okay, possibly. I have a question. If you're right by the coast, what elevation are you at?
Tsunami.
Tyler?
That's it.
Right by the ocean? What's elevation?
Tsunami.
Oh, it's more down.
Well, if you're looking at that chart, maybe. But what is elevation? Somebody give me a definition of elevation. Sean? Corey? Definition of elevation? It's not about weather.
The highest land above sea level.
The height of land above sea level.
It up.
That's fair. So, Corey, Devion, I'm going to separate you two in a second. You guys are going to have seconds. You already know that. If elevation means the height of land above sea level, if you're right at the ocean, if you're right at the sea, what elevation are you at? Say you're standing with your feet on the edge of the waves. What elevation are you at?
Say I'm
3,000.
2 feet.
Okay, sea and ocean mean the same thing, right? Elevation is the height of the land above sea level. So if you're standing with your feet in the ocean or in the sea, right at the edge, what elevation are you at?
Sea level.
You're at sea level. What number would you put on that?
0.
0. So if they're living by the coast, they're at 0 feet. So what can they grow at 0 to?
Nothing.
Let's look back at our chart. We're talking about the lowest level in our chart. And I know it says 1,000 feet elevation, but we're talking about 0 to 1,000 feet. So what are they growing?
Kyle, bananas, and sugar.
There you go. So you can talk about what they are growing that changes. You can talk
Miss
about.
Aldridge, please report to your classroom. Miss Aldridge, please report to your classroom.
You can talk about what they're growing that changes. You can talk about how the temperature changes. You can talk about, you already mentioned, what does the ocean do for them? What can they do with the ocean?
Trade.
Trade and travel and
Fish.
fishing. So that's at least 4 things, and I asked for 2 to 3. If there's anything that you need to add to your chart, please do so.
I'm looking for that one chart. Hopefully you got one
I
chart.
think she just did.
This. One more time with the chart. You need to say.
All right, so today we are going to talk about the Inca. We talked about already the Olmec, the Aztec, and the Maya. We're going to talk about our 4th and final Mesoamerican civilization. And the review of our lesson, my favorite thing, which some of you already know. Yes, sir. Vocabulary. This vocabulary video, that's a warning. I need you to stop playing around. This vocabulary video covers all 4 of those major civilizations. Tomorrow, we will use this video to kind of compare and contrast several of them. Today, I want you to focus primarily on the last verse, which is the one about Inca.
Boys and girls, today we're going to be talking about Mesoamerica. After the Ice Age, people began moving across the Bering Strait into North America. They left Northeast Asia and migrated through what is now Alaska, all the way down to South America. By the Middle Ages, these people had gotten organized. Some of these civilizations were far more advanced than the Europeans would ever imagine.
In modern day Veracruz, archaeologists pick up a pair of clues. They saw pyramids, giant stone heads, and learned they belonged to the Olmecs. Yeah, they discovered the mother culture, the first cities, artisans, sculptors. Now that's around 1200 BC. The Maya came next with similarities. Advanced agriculturists in the Yucatan with city-states, the illest that you could plan. Like Tikal, they found in Guatemala. They used intercropping and reservoirs for water. They had a calendar and a writing system, but a ball game where you could die a victim. Slavery, sacrifice, it was a risky time, and we don't know why they disappeared in 869.
Sudamérica, Centroamérica, Mesoamérica, hay nativos.
Olmec, Maya, Aztec, Inca, the original American thinkers.
Sudamérica, Centroamérica, Mesoamérica, hay nativos.
Tikal, Tenochtitlan, Machu Picchu, cities are some of the original people.
Who has next? Oh, that'll be the Aztecs. Don't have horses, so they run the fastest. They get control of a portion of the Atlas in Mexico, around Lake Texcoco. They like if we roll, we might not be strong, so they built a big city to Tenochtitlan, a city on a lake. They bake twice a day, plant corn, grind it up, make it into pancakes. They had schools every kid attended. They learned how to write, also how to fight. Imagine if one day your teacher was like, after math, I'll show you how to attack with an axe. Aztecs take slaves and captives from the enemies, that's just part of their tactics. The fact is, they were sharper than a cactus. They sacrificed humans to see like madness.
Miss Lovett,
Yeah.
introduce right now.
Hay
Turn
nativos.
it on, please.
Maya,
Okay.
Aztec, Inca, the original American thinkers.
Sudamérica, Centroamérica, Mesoamérica, hay nativos.
Tikal, Tenochtitlan, Machu Picchu, cities are some of the original people. While the Aztecs were in Mexico, the Incas were building a kingdom exceptional. At its height in the 12th century, it stretched from Ecuador to Chile, essentially based at Peru, in the city of Cusco, to connect various tribes. They used roads. They built aqueducts in the Andes, and they palmed terraces, y'all, to feed famine. We're talking over 1 million residents. They were developing some of the best medicines. Plus the king had style. Machu Picchu, the city of the clouds. But from the ground, it vanished. The secret, never found by the Spanish. People ask, was it used for astronomy? 9,000 feet, the view was astonishing.
Sudamérica, Centroamérica, Mesoamérica, hay nativos.
Olmec, Maya, Aztec, Inca, the original American thinkers.
Sudamérica, Centroamérica, Mesoamérica, hay nativos.
What'd you say? We'll watch it again tomorrow, I promise. Right now, what I want to do is take a quick look at the lyrics for Inca and point out a couple things that we're going to talk about today, so they sound somewhat familiar when we get to them. Where is, oh, here we go. So in the Inca today, we'll be talking a lot about terrace farming, which we've talked about before. Hopefully that sounds familiar. We'll be talking about the fashion of a lot of the royals and nobles. That's something that'll come up. Machu Picchu, I'll show you a picture of that. Astronomy, we will not see as much about today in medicines, but we will continue to talk about it. Danya. Hay nativos. It's Spanish, it means there are natives. Hay nativos. Yeah. The Aztecs? Yes. They didn't have horses, so they had runners who ran around their empire. And the Incas had some of that too. Central America? Central America. Tyler? I think it would be a better idea if you want to move to the center table, but if you feel the need to,
I will.
and it's going to help you focus.
No.
Do me a favor, move that way about that chair would be fine. Okay, so what should you guys be doing right now? Draw yourself little 4 boxes, please label them. I'll give you about 60 seconds to do so. Taylor, you need a pencil? Okay, good. Darian, you drawing this in your notebook now? Yes, that's fine. Tyler, you need a piece of paper to be doing this?
Yes. Yes.
What should I ask for?
So yes, yes.
Miss Loving Mary. Miss Loving Mary.
Corey, are you drawing this? Devion, you drawing this? Yes, sir. Devion, you have 30 seconds. Kenya, you have a strong one? Oh, you're good. Can you please have a piece of paper?
Yeah, please have a piece.
Yes, sir.
How would you not? Easy.
10 seconds. Alright, so as we fill in these boxes, we are going to look at a couple pictures and maps to talk about geography. Then you guys will make some predictions about what their lives will be like based on their geography. And then economy and culture we'll look at together with a little presentation. So first off, here's a map of the area. You guys saw this in the video a little bit. But as you can see, this is South America. Inca territory is shown with these three colors, and it runs along the west coast of South America. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Looking at the satellite imagery, looking at that satellite picture over there, what do you notice about this coast of South America? How would you describe it? Lisa?
It's like sandy.
It looks sandy. What does that mean then?
It's a beach.
It's a beach? It's a desert. Yeah, it's definitely not very green, right? How would that affect them?
Water?
They would need water. Yeah. I'm sorry? There's fewer trees. Yeah, there's not a lot of trees around. Tanya? No, we're talking about hundreds of thousands of years ago, and they didn't face issues like terrorists the way we think of them today. So, enemies, yes. Enemies there could be. Say that again. What were you trying to say about enemies coming to attack them? The desert often protects them. Absolutely. We talked about that when we were talking about Egypt, how the desert makes it really hard for people to travel in that area to protect them. Tyler? It's going to be hot, yes. Yeah. Now, what else do you notice about this picture? I know it's a little bit hard to see right here, but what else?
Dark.
It looks like there's some snow, and what does that mean? What does that mean probably exists there?
What's called the ice age, probably still there's some stuff
Well, the Ice Age was a while ago, and I don't think they could be in a different time than we're in. So, besides the Ice Age, why else do we see snow in one place when you don't see it in another? Yeah? Okay, it has to be cold.
Mr. West, please report to the main office. Mr. West, to the main office.
It's hot a little bit below that.
Why would it be cooler on that coast? We're talking about over here. Why would we see snow here? Why would it be colder over here?
Because they probably said it was cold and it was hot. That's what I
Danya?
but it's like hot one place and cold this place, real cold this place, and kind of warm that place or something.
Okay, yeah, we need to think about why that could happen. Why it would be cold in one place but hot not too far away. Why could there be snow right here but not right here? Ding, ding, ding. Danya, did you hear that, babe? Did you hear that?
No,
Corey, can you say that a little bit louder so everybody can hear it?
because the mountains are closer.
Because there's mountains. Remember we talked about, we saw that picture where there was all kinds of snow at the top of the mountain, and then down here it looked like a nice sunny day, you'd want to go out in some shorts. When you have mountains, it could be snowy at the top, but nice and green at the bottom. So if you're looking along this coast, what can you guess about that coast, besides the fact that it's dry like a desert? You already told me that. It's cold. Why is it cold though?
Mountains.
Because there's mountains.
I was just walking there.
So if I'm going back to this, what do we know about their geography so far? Danya?
They have a lot of mountains.
Okay, definitely. Many mountains. What else do we know about their geography?
Mini work.
Danya?
They only have one desert.
What do you mean they only have one desert?
There's only one place that looks dry.
Okay, so I'm gonna say parts of it look dry, parts of their empire are dry. Does that make sense? Parts are dry like a desert. Yeah.
No.
This is an interesting question actually, because you know what? Deserts aren't always hot. This is a side note, but deserts aren't always hot.
And at nighttime they kind of get cold.
Yes. You can also have deserts on the poles, the north and south poles. Some of the areas are deserts because a desert just means that they don't get any precipitation or rainfall. So you can have an icy desert, and they might occasionally get snow, but it's really, really rare, and that's why it's still a desert. Okay, but anyway, There's one more thing that I really want to put on here, that I really think that we need. Let's look back at this picture. We know that they live all along this side of South America. You've told me that there's deserts, you've told me that there's mountains. What else can you tell me is a huge feature of their geography right here?
Also, there are a lot of rivers.
Rivers, I definitely see some rivers. I don't know though, most of the rivers look like they're over here. I see maybe one little one here.
Ocean.
Ocean, that's a big thing. I wanna make sure it is quite obvious
Pacific.
that they have,
Ain't that long?
I meant to go this way, hold on a second. Live by the ocean. Okay, now I'm sure when I look around, Devion will have all three of these notes written down already.
I am. Already got two of them.
Good. Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds, but I need to move on from this one.
Love it. I love it.
In ocean? Don't worry about the spelling. You know what ocean is?
Glad that go. Can we watch a movie?
I don't know, I'm probably gonna have you guys do watch work still.
I ain't going there. I'm pretty normal.
Kids always say that, anyway. Oh, yeah, it is, but that's not the part that their empire covers, that's a whole separate part of South America. You good on this?
No. Yeah. Shut up, y'all.
Tyler, you have it?
No.
Please let Devion see it. Sharice, you have it? 2 seconds, share it with Corey.
Oh, I didn't need to do with the.
Okay.
Read it in. Come on.
Somebody pointed out that there looks like there's a ton of fertile soil on this part of the continent. Corey? There's a ton of fertile soil on this part of the continent, that's absolutely right, but that is not part of the land owned by or controlled by the Incans. I was saying, you're talking. What do you notice about this picture? With raised hands,
She run up on you with a mama's farm.
there's a llama and there is a mountain. What else do you notice, Danielle? Very high, hot. Why do you say that?
Miss Lovely, how you know it's hot?
Oh, do that.
Do you ever go out in the middle of the winter and you think it's gonna be so warm and so you don't put on a coat and then you walk outside and it's actually just sunny and cold as can be?
Yeah.
We've done that too.
Miss
I don't know if it's hot or not.
Lovely,
Tyler?
Steps.
Steps. What are those steps about?
is it rice?
It's, okay, you're thinking back to when we talked about China and they grow rice on steps like that. This isn't necessarily rice, but I like that you're thinking that way. Julissa?
Miss Lovely.
That's probably that's probably what they went up to, that's what it was like, the great animals that they were eating, cause the llama thing.
I can see why you would think that,
I
but
got two questions.
animals are really good at climbing even steep hills.
I got two questions.
Slow your roll, yes.
They like
What?
They like Minecraft.
It looks like what?
Minecraft.
Really? I don't know, I've never played the game. Tyler?
I understand like the main boy.
I'm sorry, I can't hear Tyler.
Might be something happening about to get up there.
Okay, well, so I do wanna get to why there are steps here, but I'm gonna tell you something. You can't really tell from this picture, but these steps are actually gonna be about like this high. You don't wanna walk up these steps, I promise you, it would not be easy. You can see about here where there's a kind of a cutout there, I think they built actual stairs there for people. These are not stairs for people. Yes, sir?
Messed up.
I think it's cold because look how high it is and we ain't talking about mountains.
That is a good assumption, that's a good
I think
assumption.
it's fertile soil, you see this.
Okay, definitely looks like some fertile soil, there's lots of green things growing, right? Okay, okay. Tyler?
That's not bricks.
What?
That's not bricks.
No, it's not.
That's just clay. Dirt.
It's just dirt. Okay, so wait, I wanna go back to what Danya was saying. Danya said something about rice. Danya, you were thinking of in China. And what did they do on the hills in China to grow rice?
Get grade.
They flooded it, okay, yeah. Why does this remind you of that rice farming in China? What's the same about it?
It's grass on the
It
stairs.
has those steps and there's grass on the steps. What did they use steps like this for? Anybody remember?
Also, so what's the
Yeah, so here's the thing, they're farming, but look at this mountain. Look at how steep that mountain is. Devion, you try to grow something on the side of that mountain, and you water it, what's gonna happen?
It's just gonna fall right down.
All the water's gonna slide right down the mountain. All the water is going to slide right down the mountain. And so what did they have to do?
Put in the bottom.
They cut little steps there.
Steps, yeah.
Does anybody remember what this is called by any chance?
The walls are triangle.
No, it's called something about.
Geography.
No, the steps.
This type of farming, what's it called?
Cutting clay.
Slash over?
Ink
No.
go out the window.
You saw the word already once today? We saw it in the song. We saw the word already once today in the song.
What it start with?
It's lovely.
Take away. What it
You were
start
close.
with? Terrace.
Terrace.
I thought you said that.
He did say
Right, I just said terrace.
that. Miss Lovely.
Yes,
Miss
sir.
Lovely. You guys said that though, like, yeah.
Sean, I don't understand why you would repeat that, like that's something I need to hear. I'm glad that I missed it the first time. You have a warning for repeating it. Okay, terrace farming, where in your notes is it important to put this?
Inca.
In economy, because farming is part of economy. Economy is all about how you get food, trade, farming, all that. So in your box that's labeled Inca economy, you better put a quick note about terrace farming and leave space to add to that.
I'm not feeling this. Go.
I know.
Should be the top right hand box. Top, yeah. It's right there, baby. TERRANC, terrace farming, in the economy box right here. Remind me, why did they have to use terrace farming?
So why?
Devion and Corey. This is Machu Picchu. It's mentioned in the song. I'm just showing it to you as an example of what one of their cities look like. Tyler, what do you
You
notice?
look like Minecraft.
It's small.
It's small. Okay, good. Relative to our cities, definitely.
You look like
John, you?
Oh, it's like thing.
Excuse me. This is not a current city. This is like the ruins of an ancient city. So you see there's no roofs here, but when people used to build houses, they usually built the roofs with like leaves or vegetation of some sort. So a lot of times the roofs would rot away and the walls would stay. Corey?
What's
Hey,
I quit.
I think